Now we exported this new texture. If we just take these and rename them like that, they're not gonna work. And the reason is because they have different size. So the original texture, as you can see, was 342 kilobyte, and the new one is 5462 kilobyte, because this was 512 pixel and the new one we exported was 2048 pixel. Okay, so in order to make this larger texture to work, we're gonna have to copy the header instead of the original. From the original, we need to copy the header from a texture that is the same size. Okay, but as you can see, if you look at the sizes in this folder, there are no other textures that they are 2K, and the reason is because in the x64 section root blah 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 folder, they only stored the textures half size for whatever reason. The high resolution textures are in a different location. So if we duplicate this window here, if we go back to x64, you see there's a streaming folder, and in here we're gonna find the same path that we find here. So section root character player pl00 pl005. This path right here is the same path as here, but the difference is that these ones are inside streaming. Now if you look at these sizes, you see that these are much larger textures. Okay, so what we need to do next is we need to copy the header from one of these 2K textures into our texture, and to do that we're going to use the hex editor. So double click here. So first thing, we're going to do the albedo metal. So let's drag this DDS here. Okay, and you get this mess of data, and from the streaming section here we need to find one that is the same size, but be careful, because if you use a different type, it's not gonna work. You need to use the same albedo metal. If you copy the header from a normal texture, the texture is gonna look wrong. So this is albedo metal, we need to find albedo metal. Okay, this is same size here, same size here. So we're gonna grab this one and drag it in here. So we got these two textures right here. Okay, now from the original, this is the original and this is the one that we want to copy. Okay, the original, the one that we just made. Okay, it says DDS here, and this is text10, DDS text10. Okay, we are going to scroll down here when there are these 4 zeros, 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, now from here we select this whole upper area like this and press delete. There's a warning, click OK. Now let's move to the other, to the 10 text 10 texture. It's a little bit of a mouthful, and we are going to select this whole block here. It goes from 0 to A0. Okay, 10 20 30 down to A0. You want to select this whole block. Control C to copy. Go back to our texture here at the top, paste, Control V, yes. Okay, so if you check now, we copied the same header, it's exactly the same, and now Control S to save, and this is done. Now this automatically create a backup, but we don't need that. But now let's do the same with the normal map. Okay, let me close this and reopen a clean one. So this is the normal map DDS that we exported. We drag it in here, and then from here we're gonna look for a normal this one, normal roughness, okay? Normal roughness and normal roughness, and they're both the same size. Drag this one here, and again we're gonna select from these 4 blocks of zeros here up in our DDS and delete, and do the same with the text.10 folder file, but from here, okay? This whole block like we did before, from 00 to A0, this whole block here, copy and paste, okay, and save. We're almost done. Now what we need to do here, this is the original file and this is the backup. Original file and the backup. I'm gonna delete all of these because I don't need them, and I'm going to rename these as .text.10, yes, and text.10. Okay, so we got the new, and these are our new textures, and these are both 2K, okay? So now let's run the game and see if they work correctly. Bonus model Clay Sheriff. Okay, it looks like it went almost well. However, if I zoom in, look at here at the arm, and look at here at the side of his body. There's a line here, there's a seam, and you can probably, there you go, you can probably see it here as well. And if I run around, there's also, you can see the seam here as well, and you can clearly see there's an intersection here with seams, and also here another seam. Okay, now the reason why this happens, it's because these normal maps were created in ZBrush, and depending on what software you're using to generate your normal map, the exporter for 3ds Max might interpret these normals in a different way. So there's an easy fix for this. You can take a good look here. This is obvious that there's also up here there's an obvious seam. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So let's quit the game. Alright, let's go back to Photoshop, and this is my normal map. The way we fix it, in here in the channel, we're gonna select the green channel, just the green channel, okay, and click Ctrl I to flip it. So we basically we flipped the green channel. All right, and now we save this again, same settings as before. Okay, so here's the new texture, and we can do the same. You can just drag it here, and we can actually use our latest normal map because it has the correct header. So we can just drag this here. Again, from here we select this whole block and delete it, and here we select this whole block. Okay, copy, paste, and save. All right, now let's select these two and delete them, and rename this one to text.10. Yes, and let's see if it worked. Let's see if it fixed the problem. And we fixed it. As you can see, now it's nice and smooth. That seam that was here, now it's not visible anymore. The seam that was along his back is not visible anymore. So it's here as well, no seams, and now the body looks good. Okay, so success. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to swap the hat with this hairstyle. I want this Leon Noir hairstyle on my mod here. Okay, I don't want this hat, I want those hair. Now let's see how we can do that. Okay, so click back on X64, and this time we're going to move to Object Root. Click on Object Root, Prefab, Character, Survivor, Parts, PL000, and you get these three files. Now this PFB, these are the prefabs that tell the game what to load for each component. So because the hat, the sheriff hat, is tied to the hair, it's like a set, we need to change this prefab to the one that has the hair from Leon Noir. And to do that, we're gonna go back to the list here. So Leon Noir is inside this folder, 561. Okay, so let's go back here. 561 is right here. So to do that, let's go to our quick BMS again, like we did before. Grab the BMS and drag it over the 4 gig file .exe, and let's control this, copy this path here. So 561, let me double check. Yes, 561 is Leon Noir. So 561, select this, open, and let's just extract it here. So save. Alright, so now if we check inside here, we still have the same stuff as before, but this time we are not going to move out this. We're just going to scroll to Object Root, Prefab, Character, Survivor, Parts, PL000, and we need this file, which is the hair of Leon Noir. So we are going to copy this. Let me have an export folder. I'm going to copy in here. Okay, now let's go back to, okay, now I don't want to change this, so we can probably leave it there, but just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna delete it because I don't want to have duplicated stuff. I'm just gonna delete it because I only needed this file. Alright, so I'm going back into my natives, x64, Object Root, Prefab, Character, Survivor, Parts, PL000. Now I'm gonna copy this here. Now this is called costume A, and this is my costume B, so I'm going to delete my costume B and rename costume A to costume B. Alright, that's it. This will substitute the hair, but there's a catch, and I'm gonna show you where the problem is. So if I go to Bonus, Models, and Arclay Sheriff, as you can see, the hat didn't change. The hat is still there. However, if I go back and I go to Story, and let's say that I load